The growth is accelerating. So I'm already over $5,000 earned.
Remember, it's only been a short time, but we've had $500 days of revenue.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in the revenue is around just over $7,000. It is quite amazing in that short space of time that you can generate that, and we're only starting.
So the biggest revenue day has been just over $500 in just a short amount of time. It's done fantastically, really.
You're listening to The Growth Booth, the show focused on achieving lifestyle freedom through online businesses. Whether you're looking for step-by-step strategies to start building an online business, simple game plans to grow your business, or proven lifestyle freedom frameworks, you are in the right place. Stay tuned and be sure to join the thousands of listeners already in growth mode.
Aidan Booth here. Welcome to The Growth Booth, episode number 53. This is the second episode of 2023, and I'm doing something a little bit different today because what I wanted to share with you is a series of interviews that I've been giving recently to people who were involved in a pilot program for my brand new info product called 123 Profit. Now, 123 Profit is about how you can get yourself making money in a very short space of time without needing to sell a single thing. And because of this, we have astronomically high conversion rates in the 30, 40, 50%. So another way of looking at that is, 3 or 4 or 5 out of every 10 people that come to your website end up making you money. And we're not just talking about a few dollars here either. We're talking about large amounts of money, and it really puts it in a whole new league and allows everyday people to earn money online unlike they've ever been able to do before. So to really put the method to the test and to see how it would go when we rolled it out to more people, what we did was we invited a small group of people to work with us in what we call our pilot program. And you can think of this as a form of beta testing. And what the people in our pilot program were able to do was to sort of watch this whole journey unfold for themselves. And the results have been absolutely mind-boggling. We took people from different areas of life, different corners of the globe, and they've all gone through, absolutely every single one of them has come through this pilot program and ended up with a website that's making them not just $100 a day, but multiple hundreds, like $300, $400, $500 in a single day. And these are results that we've been able to achieve in a very short space of time. In fact, as you'll hear when you're listening through this compilation that I've put together here for you today, most of these people were able to get results incredibly quickly, even in a matter of hours of turning this sort of magical process on. So that's what I've got for you today. And if you want to find out more about this, then I urge you to head over to 123profit.com. This is a very limited opportunity to find out more about this. This is something that I only do for like a 1 week period at the start of each year. And this is the very first time that we've given away any information or any training on what we call our 123 profit method, even though it's something that we've been doing and earning millions from since 2006. So enjoy the content today. I hope you get some good value out of it and learn more about what we're doing here. And then make sure you head over to 123profit.com to find out even more information. So with that said, we're going to start diving into this compilation of interviews that I've put together for you. Enjoy it. Can you share anything
Sure.
about where you're at, what you've been able to see with your website so far?
Sure. It's actually really exciting because it's been a great run and the growth is accelerating. So I'm already over $5,000 earned. And I was just looking at some of the stats here before we got on the phone. And best day, $481. This week is up more than 25% over just a week ago. And my month to month, because we've only been doing this about 60 days, 70 days, since the very beginning, and running ads for about 60. And I'm up more than 3 times month over month. So that's all super exciting. The other thing is I'm just running literally one keyword. This is all off of one keyword. And even in my niche, there's many more. And just in the nature of the beta program as we were running it, just running a single keyword. So I'm super excited to see it'll scale both. I can run more in the ad front, but it's also scales by just adding more keywords that just the same way I did the first one.
What's been some of your maybe like your best day so far, for example?
Sure, because remember it's only been a short time, but we've had $500 days of revenue.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Would you say that you've been surprised by the progress you've made, or did you kind of expect that you'd be where you are now? Thoughts around that?
No, the progress has been quicker than I probably could have imagined, if I'm totally honest. I didn't know what to expect, but from my previous work with Amazon and stuff, that was a very slow build, and maybe you didn't see any results at all for quite some time. Whereas this, really after just a short space of time, or it seems like a short space of time of a number of weeks, you started to get results very quickly. And when I mean results, I mean revenue. And certainly, as you've said earlier, about 10 weeks now we've been working together. And even though you've had some holiday periods in there with Thanksgiving and stuff in the States, and we've had to pause things, those results have kept happening. Like in the revenue is around just over $7,000 in that time, which is it is quite amazing in that short space of time that you can generate that, and we're only starting.
Where are you at so far? What's that sort of journey been like? Maybe you could share a little bit about your numbers to give people some context here, and then we can dive into some more of the details of the model.
Yeah, for sure. Look, it's only early days. It's only, like you said, it's only been a few months. So I feel like things are just really getting started, to be honest. Look, my largest day so far would be just over the $400 mark, which is really good. I think from start we're pretty close to around about $8,000 in revenue, so just short of $8,000 in sales, which is really exciting. That, like I said, it's only early days. So,
I think we've been going around about 10 weeks since your website kicked off, and the first few weeks was very much about just giving you some background information about the model. So we've probably had, I would say, traffic coming in around about 7 weeks, something like that. So to be at $7,000 in your first sort of 7 weeks of actually turning traffic in and having hit $400, is that 400 US dollars or 400 Australian dollars?
No, that's US. $400 US dollars, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you remember how long it took you to see your first conversion or to make your first money using this system? So when you started, from the moment you sort of turned on the traffic, let's say, how long from then did it take you to say, oh, I've got my first sale, or my first commission, I should say?
From it was almost instant. Like it didn't. Yeah, as soon as you turn the traffic on, it was that day from memory.
Same day.
It didn't take. Yeah, it was quick. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all to do that.
So the biggest revenue day has been just over $500, so if in just a short amount of time, it's done fantastically, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think what we typically see is a gradual increase in the way that we run this. So, if you're hitting your largest revenue days of sort of $500 now, then I would expect in the next month or so that hopefully you'll be able to be up above 1,000 and not just increase the revenue, but increase the profitability as well, because a lot of what we end up doing leverages what we call the back end, which we're not paying for any traffic in that case at all. I think that you would sort of hit a limit with how much money you could make in one niche. Take, for example, we're not going to reveal your niche here, but I mean, do you think that you're going to quickly hit a ceiling on how much money you could make from that?
I don't think so. No, it depends on how much you. I think the more you put in, then the more you get out of it. So it's like you can kind of choose your cap pretty much. Like and that's the exciting thing about it. You can just kind of tailor it to how much your kind of threshold is. If you're a bit worried, then you can lower it or whatnot. But I think the ceiling is, well, it's kind of like an invisible ceiling, really.
How's that compare with different projects that you've worked on in the past? That speed that we're talking about, 48 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's amazing. Like I've definitely had experiences where I've offered a product for sale and been able to sell it very quickly. But usually what happens is if you're doing that, you immediately get swarmed by competition because people are watching what you're doing and seeing, hey, if you're starting to move units, they're going to come at you with competitive pricing and some of those other things. But in this space, it's felt very, very different. Obviously there's lots of people advertising lots of things on Google and Microsoft, but it's so much bigger than I am. I never have to worry about any kind of competition on my words or anyone's going to suddenly find me and come after it. So the biggest difference is it's not just that it happens quickly, which is nice and I love it, but it's also that it has longevity. You find a good opportunity and you can then just continue to run it for as far as I can see, more or less indefinitely. I'm sure there are limits, but everything I found in e-commerce, at least for me, was I'd find a great opportunity, but the competition was so incredibly aggressive coming after me, where this is a much more defensible business opportunity, which I love.
Can you explain a little bit about the flow of why they would be interested in the first place?
Sure. Well, like with anything else, the goal is to place ads, very, very simple ads, and the audience is amazingly large, but place very simple ads, say on Google or Microsoft, and drive them to an offer that matches what they're actively searching for. So they already have that intent and that interest. And the kind of information, it depends on the niche and so on, but basically think of them as just adding to a subscriber list, to a subscription list, so you can send them follow-up emails, and then offer them exactly what they were looking for in terms of what they were searching for. And the affiliate business, this kind of model is so great because there's not really a fulfillment. Other than passing them along to an offer that's highly targeted to what they were searching for. The rest of the follow-up happens out of my hands. I don't have to do anything with that. So it's a really great way.
Why do you think you can turn the traffic on and very quickly get a conversion?
I think this is where it's probably different and from the e-com, but it's just so simple, right? You've got the foundations there set up, and you point the traffic, and people fill out the details, and that converts into a lead, which is just it's just so simple.
Money in the bank.
I guess the difference, it's money in the bank. People, which is the huge difference here. With this model, people have to go through. In e-com, they've got to go through and want that product and check out and put their credit card details in there and all that kind of stuff. So all those kind of things are another step in the funnel. But with what we're doing here, it's just so much simpler. People just fill out a form and you get paid.
If I think about all the different business models that I'm in, and we're involved with software, developing software, selling information, e-commerce, obviously, traditional affiliate marketing. With any and all of those, there's always an element, almost like I need to convince my visitor to do something, and if I'm good enough at convincing them, then I make money. Whereas with this, it's so aligned, I think, with we're giving the traffic, the visitors, we're giving them the opportunity to get something that they already want. And I think that's why we see these such high conversion rates. It's just fundamentally different from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah, you're right. People are looking for what we're offering them, which is excellent. So they're already coming in as not so much as a cold lead, I guess. They're coming in as a very warm lead. So it's so much simpler to convert.
Being in Australia, what has your experience been in the past with running an online business? Has it sometimes, do you think, been more challenging being outside of the USA? And obviously you got experience with e-commerce, we've spoken about that, other things as well. And then leading on from that, how has it been for you being in Australia and getting this going?
Yeah, look, it's different. It's, to be honest, you can be anywhere in the world to in regards to doing this. It makes absolutely no difference. Ecom, yes, it's probably a little bit more challenging being in Australia, doing the ecom, especially in the US, because you're just like, being in Australia, you're on the other side of the world, so you've got to get in your head that when it's summer here, it's winter over in the US, and people are buying different things, and you've just got to try and reverse everything that's happening locally. You're not kind of, I guess, yeah. Speaking about just e-commerce only, you're not tapped into what's going on locally there, in the US, because you're in I guess a totally different country. So it's a little bit more challenging, but with this model, it makes absolutely zero difference at all. You could probably do it in Antarctica if you had internet connection there. It's great. You don't need to know all those various buying habits, and whether it's summer or winter or what have you. It's so much more simpler. So I guess with the connected world that we're living in now, everything's so much smaller, right? With the internet and doing Zooms and just touching base with people. We're so much more connected now. So the world is a smaller place, which makes it fine. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can do this. It's fine.
Do you think you're going to need to have a team to run this, or is it going to be a big addition to what you're doing on a day-to-day basis with the rest of your business? What's your outlook on that?
Yes, that's a really good question. Something I was really interested in right at the beginning of the program was something that I'm looking to get involved with more is something that's more passive, and this is more passive. There's an initial setup, but once you've got the ads going, and bearing in mind that the figures which I've mentioned, that's not even started scaling yet. So once we start scaling and increasing ad spend, then the increased money is going to happen. And once that's going, there's very little to do on a day-to-day basis. So really, it's passive income once set up.
I think also a lot of it has to do with the simplicity of the ads. So in e-commerce over the years, and in sort of like traditional affiliate marketing, if you like, and other businesses, we've had to get quite creative with our ads to be able to get anyone to pay attention, because no one's got much attention span. But with this, it's quite different in that it's almost like if you're selling whatever it is that you're selling. Maybe you're selling some product for pets, but maybe it's whatever it is, some product that you're selling. You just say what it is in the ad, and then people click on it. It's not like you have to get all overly creative or have a degree in copywriting or anything like that. I mean, you've only got 10 words to work with, basically.
Yes, I think that's one of the things that I'm so excited about. Is it's a really nicely defined. I think that's part of what's so exciting about the program overall is there's opportunities in so many different directions, so many different niches. And yet you don't have to go write a long script. You don't have to go create a lot of visual creatives. You don't have to do a lot of those things that, yes, are possible and people have success doing it, but it has a learning curve. What I found here is the learning curve is if that makes sense for folks, the idea of what do you have to learn to be able to operate, it's actually quite simple. And so it allows you to get very quickly to the place where you're actually in front of potential customers. You're getting real feedback really fast. You don't have to learn all these complicated tools and build new graphics and figure out what images you're allowed to use or any of that sort of stuff. You start really simple, really focused, a few ads, and even Google helps you automate that testing at the beginning to get a few different examples run through, get some feedback, see which one is generating the right kind of traffic, and then you get to expand on that. So I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about e-commerce too. Like obviously, lots of people have success, but if there's a lot of learning that has to happen. It's just a deeper well you have to go through before you know how to do all the steps. Where this feels just a lot more accessible. So I love e-commerce, but the experience I had is like there's just a lot of things you have to learn to really be an expert there. And what I'm seeing here is it's just a shorter path to get in front of customers and start getting real feedback. You don't have to learn so many different tools and so many different products before you're able to, okay, let's put an ad, see if it gets response. And then Google will help you and optimize for you to make sure that the traffic that converts is the kind of traffic they send you more of. Because their whole goal is very simple, just to keep finding you profitable traffic so that you keep running ads. And you get to leverage that really well. So I love that about it. It just makes it more accessible for people, which makes me excited for folks to be able to see this program too. Really, it's been eye-opening for me.
I think it's the big selling point for me is not having like things to worry about, like externally, like physical things or anything, which can be fine, but I just like to know that I can run everything. I can take my laptop wherever and kind of run the business from that pretty much. And it's a different business model in the way that you're getting leads, and I've never done that before, and it's I think it's like an exciting way to kind of build revenue from something that I wouldn't have thought of making money before.
Have you done anything in the past where you've been making commissions online, like any sort of, I guess you could say, traditional affiliate marketing?
I haven't really, no. I haven't tried much like affiliate marketing stuff before.
So basically you came into this completely new to this style of marketing that we're doing here. This business model is something that was completely new to you.
Yeah. So I came into it pretty fresh. I knew a little, like certain things, but not really in the realms of what this course covers, and which has been great because I'm always trying to learn new things, and this course has just kind of shown me, it opened up a whole new kind of world of opportunities pretty much. And I didn't know much coming in, and now I feel like I know so much I've learned so much in the last couple of months, and it's kind of opened up new doors for me.
I've always loved about this, and comparing this to the other types of businesses that I've got online, is there's not an ongoing requirement for things like content, for example, like obviously in the search engine optimization world, or a lot of, not just that world, but a lot of different things nowadays, you need to be constantly creating content. That might be videos, blog posts, newsletters, so on and so forth. Whereas with this, there's no need to do that whatsoever. It's just not really part of the business model. And one of the most common questions I get from people is, can I scale my business faster if I've got a virtual assistant or an employee? With this model, there's not really anything for them to do. I mean, is that aligned with your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's the whole thing is simple. That's my biggest takeaway. It's quite a complex thing made simple, which is great. And it's something that's you can set up. Now, if you've never done Google Ads or Microsoft Ads before, then the way that the training's been done is done simplistically. So they're taking something that could be really drawn out over a long period, but they've done it in such a way that's it's quick to set up and quick to scale, quick to add. So you won't need to get a team of people in to do it. Anyone can do this themselves. If they've never done it before, then there's a bit of a learning curve, but the training will provide that. So this is a fantastic opportunity for anyone really to make a passive income online.
any comments about some of the coaches we've got on our team?
Yeah, they're all very professional. They are super supportive. Nothing's ever a problem. There's no problems. It's just, if there's any obstacles come up, we work through them. There weren't any, to be honest, over the 10 to 12 weeks. Certainly none that spring to mind. And if I had a question, being, as I've already said, being quite new to this space, the team were brilliant in answering anything I had or any of the other guys, and that we were working together with. I found the coaches really good, and as you were saying there about the length of time that some of your ads are running for, the knowledge, you can see the knowledge that's been there for a number of years, and they're very expert in this field, and that helps give me confidence. It helped me at the start give me confidence that I would pick this up and that somebody would be there to really show me what I needed to do to get the results that I have done.
Two things to say. One is they're incredibly experienced, like really experienced, years and years of experience in different niches and so forth. And they also have been very, very forthcoming with sharing their knowledge and their experience, and that's been really good.
Right, and to add on to that, they also know what works and what doesn't work. Excuse me. They know what tools. I mean, in our e-commerce business, we've been through dozens of tools and thrown out dozens of tools. So these guys they've already done that part. They've already found the ones that are no good and thrown them out, and found the ones that are good and kept them. And then they tell us, so we don't have to do that part of the business either.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's something that at this stage I almost sort of take for granted in my business, although every day I remind myself, wow, I'm so grateful that I've got this amazing team that can work with me behind the scenes, because they really are the ones that can make a huge amount of difference to people's lives and be able to help people, make those kind of dreams come true. So, last couple of questions for you. If someone had said to you 10 weeks ago that you'd be sitting here right now with an income stream coming in that has done, the vicinity of $500 per day using this model, thinking back to where you were, 10 weeks or so ago, is that something you would have signed up for? Is that something that you would have been happy with?
Yeah, we would have signed up for it.
Good.
And we also know from what that we're just scratching the surface. We know that This is a pilot program. It's just 10 weeks. We've only been working at it for 10 weeks. There's lots that we don't know yet.
Yeah, and there's a lot of potential.
And there's a lot, so that, shows us, when you see those numbers, that just shows us that the potential is there once we build our knowledge base up and implement some of the additional parts.
Yeah, something that I see really exciting about what you're doing is we're talking about hitting these numbers like $500 a day, but you're only actually capitalizing on one of the monetization methods, and there's actually another much bigger monetization method that you're now ready to start building into the back end. So won't get into that now. It's a conversation for another day, but it's really exciting. The last question that I do have for you is, any final words for people who might be listening to this conversation we're having, who might be inspired by what you're saying, but may also have doubts about what you're saying, because maybe they've tried things in the past that haven't worked all that well for them, or maybe they've been burnt in the past, or maybe they're just afraid. But any final words that you would leave with the people who are listening here?
Well, my one big thing is that when you take on a project or business model where there are experts in that, like these coaches that we just talked about, that my advice is to do what they say, because they know. I don't know better than the coaches in the 1, 2, 3 profit system. And I'm not about to second guess them. I'm about to do what they tell me to do, because I know they've been successful there, and I want that same success.
Right, and I'll add on that, yes, we have been in business for a long time and have tried a lot of different ideas and different paths, and some have been more successful than others, and some have been, abject failures. But to Carrie's point, when you have a good team behind you that know what they're doing, and you're not figuring it out on your own. It's like, oh, let's do this 1, 2, 3 profit model. I'll just do it on myself by myself. We've been down that road and lost, if you will. So this is just incredible to have these people behind us.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking some time out there and sharing a little bit about your story. I'm really excited about where you're going with this, and I know that you're going to have big things happen this year. So again, congratulations on what you've been able to sort of put together so far, and thank you. Thanks for being here.
Our
Thanks,
pleasure. If it helps somebody make a better decision, we're glad that we were able to help.
Well, there you have it. That's a wrap for this episode of The Growth Booth. As always, you can get the transcript. You can see the video version of this and so much more by heading over to thegrowthbooth.com and navigating to episode number 53. Make sure you also head over to 123profit.com to find out more about what we're doing there. And we'll make sure that we include that link wherever this podcast episode is finished. And like I said earlier, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's a very limited opportunity to come on the inside with me and work with me to learn how you can potentially do this for yourself. So head over to 123profit.com to get all the details, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Growth Booth.